All right, Julie,
We
we are
honored.
back. Okay, so we did a recording a handful of recordings ago, episodes ago, podcasts, whatever. And we did, I'll say, episode 4, and then we recorded episode 5 right after it, as we will often do, back to back. And at the time, I joked. I
Yeah.
said, "Ha ha! If you're watching us again, we're wearing the same clothes." Well, guess what? We're in the same clothes because we're doing that again. So,
Jokes
okay.
on you guys.
So we just wrapped up talking about travel, effects of weather, food, all that kind of stuff. How you make travel interesting and not boring and mundane. And I don't think we did it justice, but we talked about it enough and in a fashion for which will benefit us, which is why we're talking, right? We're not making this for other people. We're having a chit chat amongst ourselves so we can kind of hone our own skills and improve our own games. And
Get each other's opinions.
if someone else can benefit from that, all the better. But we're here just to bounce ideas off each other and grow from each other. So on that same concept, alignment is going to be our discussion here for the next half hour or so. And alignment rings true in every edition of D&D. Correct me if I'm wrong, Julie. Going off the top of my head, you can be good, you can be evil, you can be lawful, you can be chaotic, right? So I can be lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil. I can be chaotic
Hmm.
good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil. There's 6. And then there's true neutral. So there'd be 7, at least in first edition. There's
There's
technically 7.
9.
There's more. What am I missing?
Lawful good, lawful
Oh,
neutral,
I'm missing.
lawful evil,
I'm missing neutral. The neutral good, the neutral
neutral
evil.
good,
Yeah,
neutral evil, true
yeah,
neutral,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then
So,
chaotic good,
yeah.
chaotic neutral,
So you're
chaotic
right.
evil.
There's 9, not 7. You're right. I forgot those two.
Yeah.
So, all right. So those 9 have been consistent in every edition, all 5, 7 editions that we've come across here over the past 50 years with D&D. So I'll pull up a couple things on the screen. I'll bring up the PDF of the Player's Handbook and the DMG, at least first edition, to show, and fifth edition maybe, to show what these are kind of defined as and show you where you can find these. But more important to me, other than how they're defined, is how does that affect how you play your character? How does that affect the DM in holding that player to that character's alignment? So let me first, as
And that
Julie,
would also go into player, you say this a lot, player maturity.
in role playing that, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because it's one thing to say I'm chaotic good, but if I'm just killing everyone at whim for the sake of it, then I'm really not chaotic good, right? I'm not playing to that
No.
alignment. And
Right.
then the question is, does the alignment define the play, or does the play define the alignment? And that's always my challenge or question to my players. Um, do you choose your alignment first because it sounds like it might be interesting, and then you play to that? You confine yourself, or do you play your character undefined as you see fit as to how you want to play that character? And over the next few sessions, the next few months, you kind of
Right.
play your character how you just mentally envision it without articulating it. And then, now that you've kind of developed that personality enough, the behaviors, the mindset, the values of that character, then see what alignment you are closest to fit in, and then from there let that further guide you. That's my personal stance as the DM on alignment. All right, Julie. So where in the DMG does it define these alignments?
In align, let's look it
I'm having
up.
I'm having a tough time finding it.
Alignment is in the player's handbook.
Oh, not in the DMG?
No, it is not.
Okay, let me pull up the player's handbook.
This is going to be 2024 player's handbook,
I
but
don't
I
have
assume
that,
it's
but
the same.
I have the 2014 or whatever the first one is. Player's Handbook, DMG, Player's Handbook 5e. Why do I have 3 copies of this?
Hello.
Oh, no, no, no. I have 2 copies. There was 2 different printings. There was a May of 2014 and a August of 2014. Okay. So on what page are you looking in the Player's Handbook?
So for 2024 player's handbook, it's page 360.
Holy shapoopy.
And it's one paragraph.
That's it?
Yeah, isn't
Well,
that great?
it tells you how not important it is then.
Um, so for hold on,
No.
I'm trying to
Okay, well, in
find.
in the 2014, I don't think there's even 360 pages.
There isn't. So it's 2024 is 360
All
pages.
right, let me search for
I'm
alignment.
trying to look at me back home. Take me home, country road, to the place I was born.
All
Ay,
right,
ay,
well,
ay,
hang
ay,
on,
ay,
hang
ay,
on.
ay.
Does he
Hello?
say take me home to the place I was born, or take me home to the place I belong?
I think there's two different verses, and it's both.
Because I always thought it was where I belong.
It's probably I Belong. Do you know that that song, I'm pretty sure, and somebody told me this, so I don't know how actually factual it is that it's about the western portion of Virginia and not the state of West Virginia?
So it's Western Virginia, not West Virginia, is what he's talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about the western portion of the state of Virginia
Hmm.
and not because I don't think the Shenandoah goes into West Virginia.
My geography is not good enough to know that.
Any.
All right,
Somebody told me that. I don't know
creating
how
a
actual
character
factual
step
it
by
is.
step. Race, personality, and background. I'm
Step by
guessing.
step characters, maybe.
Customization. Oh,
Determine ability score. Describe your character. Choose equipment. Come together beyond first level. No. Race, classes, personality, and background. I'm gonna say maybe. Alignment. I found it. It is page 122 of the 2014 Player's Handbook.
I'm sorry. Page what?
122 of the 2014 Player's Handbook.
All right, I want to pull it up on the screen here.
The one that I use.
120. 120 what?
122.
Okay.
To the
There's
place.
127. 123. 122. Okay. So I will.
This has way more on it than the 2024, which means that the 2024 rulebook is going away from playing based off of alignment, which is great because everyone loves morally gray individuals.
Okay. So YouTube can see it. I have it on you have it
Good
on your
job.
screen, so I don't need to do a screen share, but I have it up here for YouTube as well. So lawful good, lawful neutral good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, true neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, and chaotic evil. So
And it gives a brief description of all.
yeah, so a lawful good can be counted on to do the right thing as expected by society. Well,
A good goodie.
that's not a very comprehensive description. Chaotic good is the creature who acts as their conscience, or as their conscience directs, with little regard for what others expect. Yeah, this is crappy. Lawful evil. Creatures methodically take what they want within the limits of the code of a tradition, loyalty, or order. Yeah, that's crappy. All right, let me show you. Hang on, let me find it here, and I will screen share because I know you don't have this up on your screen. It is both in the Player's Handbook and the DMG in first edition. The DMG is a little more detailed, I believe, in its description. So I'm going to try to find that first.
I sent a really sarcastic one. The colored one that I sent is very sarcastic, and then I sent just a really blank one. Sarcastic one is funny.
Okay, alignment is on page 23 of the first edition DMG. So I'll skip ahead to that. Went too far. Okay.
Alignment based off of pizza.
What? Okay, so let me do a screen share here with you, Julie, so you can see this with me as well. Screen share. Okay, so there's your screen share. Okay, so alignment.
Oh yeah, you have a little bit more than I did.
Yeah, so first it starts out with just law versus chaos, describes good versus evil, and then neutrality, right? But then it gives a description of each. So by comparison, let's go back here and look at lawful evil. Creatures methodically take what they want within the limits of a code of tradition, loyalty, or order. Lawful evil.
Strahd is lawful evil.
Lawful evil. Obviously, all order is not good, nor are all laws beneficial. Lawful evil creatures consider order as the means by which each group is properly placed in the cosmos, from lowest to highest, strongest first, weakest last. Good is seen as an excuse to promote mediocrity of the whole and suppress the better and more capable, while lawful evilness allows each group to structure itself and fix its place as compared to others, serving the stronger but being served by the weaker.
Hierarchy.
That's much
True
more.
hierarchy.
That's much more colorful. Let
Yeah,
me.
well.
Let me.
Welcome to the 80s where the internet wasn't a thing.
That is very well. That's yeah. Okay. Yep. Let me bring up the player's handbook though, because it will have a description in there as well.
Oh, the first edition Player's
Yeah,
Handbook.
but it'll be different. It'll be different. I mean, same but different.
Yeah.
Let me see alignment.
Same, but different.
Okay, let me zoom in on this here. You
Wonk,
can
wonk, 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 wonk.
alignment. So that same lawful evil,
Lawful
right?
evil.
Creatures of this alignment are great respectives of laws and strict order, but life, beauty, truth, freedom, and the like are held as valueless, or at least scorned. By adhering to stringent discipline, those of lawful evil alignment hope to impose their yoke upon the world. Oh my God, this is
Yeah.
so much better
Tyrant.
than the 5e description, which is so not helpful. Wow.
There are no descriptions in the 2024. Zero descriptions. It's just a list. It's a small paragraph.
So with these kind of descriptions, you can see how it can go
The
either
game has
way for the
changed.
player in
Yeah.
terms of I'm going to choose my alignment, and I think it'll be fun to play that kind of gritty character, and that's what I'm going to choose that alignment, and that's what I'm going to play. And just the flip side, I think it's easy to see how, or why I say what I do, which is don't worry about your alignment. Let's play. You play the character you want, and then we'll see which one you closest fit in, and then from there it'll further guide you. As a player, though, I will say I would choose my alignment first. Something kind of not like me, kind of something a little nitty gritty, and I would play to that alignment. I'd play to that description. Again, that's me as the player. Um, but again, as the DM, I kind of say take the opposite direction on that. I think that's largely in part because I have a lot of new players and certainly new to 1E. So
It's easy to
as to
play the alignment closest to yourself.
I took closer to the player. You're saying
Right.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, at that point, we're blurring the line a little bit between role playing and playing as myself, right?
Your brand new characters, your brand new
Well,
players, I'm
right. Well,
gonna
that,
say,
that's that, that's
are
what I'm saying.
almost
So as
always
new inexperienced players, new players to
almost
first
always.
edition, that's why I say just play how you want to play, and then we'll see how it works out. So as the DM, that's what I do, and that's why I do that. But if I'm the player, I'll choose my alignment during character creation, and I will play to that alignment. I will let that kind of define me a little bit. But in a sense, that's no different than a lot of these newer players who want to do their whole backstory and their background and all their personality traits and all this stuff, and they define all that on the initial character creation, and then they try to play to that. It's the same kind of principle of what do I choose that first and play to it, or do I play and then see what I am?
Right.
But if someone has a defined alignment, Julie, whatever that is, and that player is not playing their character to that alignment, how do you, as the DM, address that? Does it have any
You kind of have to
consequences?
check them. You have to check them.
What?
In Strahd, there will be consequences. If you decide to stabby the NPCs and you are not of the stabby alignment, then, maybe you become a stabby alignment. There are actual devices in the campaign that can actually force change alignments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the same with, I'm using insanity mechanics. And if you go insane, your alignment's going to change. Sorry. Is what it is. You're insane now. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, okay, but insanity unto itself doesn't necessarily have to change my alignment, especially if I was a not good alignment to begin with, right? Because think about it
Depending.
in real life application. There are plenty of people who we would generically design as being insane, some sort of significant mental illness, right? That unto itself doesn't make them bad. Just because
It'll change their alignment, though.
the schizophrenic hears voices and has hallucinations, it doesn't mean they're going to act badly upon them. So it
It'll
doesn't mean
almost always just change them into true neutral.
okay. So if that happens, whether I agree with that or not, if that happens,
Yeah.
then you're forcing that player to play an alignment that they may not want, right?
I
Um,
made that clear in the beginning, and I asked them if it was okay.
yeah, but what if that wasn't what if that wasn't the scenario? What if it was a one-off thing? But no, my question stands though. My question to you is,
I can cure their insanity. Yeah.
what if the player is not playing to the alignment? The alignment is chosen during character creation. They choose lawful good, and they are not playing that character that way. Do you
Yeah.
redefine their alignment to say, "Hey, that's really not how you're doing it. Let's why don't you look at this description and play this description?" Or do you say, "You're supposed to be a really good guy, and you're not. What what
I
do you
think
do? What are
I
the
would do
consequences?"
right. I think I would do the second one a couple times first. And if it never sinks in and I'm constantly reminding the player like no you're true you're lawful good, no you're lawful good, no you're lawful good, then I think I would talk to them like as I would shoot them a DM and be like, "Hey, look, I know you're struggling with this whole goody goody lawful good guy. Do you want to change into like neutral good instead or lawful neutral instead?
Now,
Maybe take a step away from it." Unless they're being true demon, little chaos goblins, in which case then you can say, okay, well maybe you want to go into chaotic neutral.
but if they're changing kind of whimsical like that, right? Because then they're not the player's not playing the character in a particular. Um, they're not aligned with a particular alignment, and you say, okay, well, you better fit it over here, and you shift it. Then, in a sense, what is the point of having an alignment?
I feel like that's a new player thing, and like I said, like player maturity. And I don't think a veteran player would do something like that.
Well, I agree, but I guess like the question I'm raising as just a broad spectrum question: is there really a point in
Yeah.
having an alignment, a defined alignment?
I probably not. You could probably go without it. It could probably just be a choice
So
influence.
yeah,
But
I don't think that game
mm,
mechanic adds a lot to the game.
I think it helps to define a character, like to help define a character. But if you already know who your character's gonna be and who they are as a person, and you don't need that help, then maybe just putting
The
down something that fits the character is different.
the place where I see this game mechanic really like coming into actual play is when you're the good guy and you need to communicate or interact with that bad guy, and the bad guy doesn't like anyone who's of good alignment or something to that effect, right? Or
Or an artifact that only attunes to people of a certain alignment.
right. I was going to use the
Yeah.
example of a cleric turning undead, right? If I'm an evil cleric,
You're not gonna turn
I
undead.
like the undead, right? They're my
Yeah, you're
buddies,
gonna turn dead.
right? Whereas if I'm a lawful good cleric, then yeah, I'm all about turning that undead and making them go away and killing the undead, because it's complete the antithesis of what my very being is as a lawful good cleric. So though there are times when that game mechanic will come into play, but I don't think it's as frequently as is really warranted to focus on what it means to be lawful good or chaotic neutral or what have you. So while I like it and I use it, I don't put a lot of emphasis on it. There have been times, as you know, on Tuesday night, I'll say, "What is your alignment again?" Because they're doing something that I don't think is really in accord with their alignment. And I know on Sunday night there've been a couple times where they're pushing the threshold of what their alignment is, right? And if they kind of continue on that path, well, now I as the DM, like I got to think of something. Like, is it just going to be a little chat with them to kind of get
Well,
them to refocus their approach to life as the character, or do we need to take a different course of action? And I don't have definitive answer on that yet because I haven't had to cross that bridge.
So, I just remembered this. So, my friend Mark played in one of your games, one of your Friday games. He sat in on it, and you had said one.
You know, he
Oh,
once he did just enough to do
oh,
character.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, wait a second. What am I waiting for? What's going on? And he enjoyed it a lot. And he said the only thing that hit me weird was that he said no evil characters, and he said, okay, I can do that. I'll just make a paladin. I'll play a paladin. And or something like that. He played
Hmm.
like a generally
Yeah,
neutral
a
guy,
paladin. Yeah,
whatever.
which will be lawful good. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like he was kind of torn because apparently there was torture of civilians happening during that session, and he was really confused because he was like, "Wait, I thought we weren't supposed to be evil. What do I
So
do?"
so that is a good example of a lawful good character, right? A
Just
paladin
like
is
I
a
thought it
perfect
was
example.
very funny. I
Yeah.
didn't know what I was doing.
So the paladin in first edition is always lawful good. There's no such thing otherwise. You break that, you lose your paladin hood, you're screwed. So they are hard. They are hardcore. So that's come up on Sunday night as well. That there is a paladin in the party, an
Yeah.
NPC. It's a PC who has now become an NPC. But nonetheless, there's a paladin in the party, and the rest of the party has done some shit where he's like, "Hey man, you guys need to knock this shit off. Hey man, you need to knock
Yeah, I'm
this shit
kicking the
off.
shit out of
Hey
you.
man,
Can you guys stop?
if you guys keep this up, I'm out of here. Like I'm not going to be involved in this. I'm not going to be associated with it." So that is kind of keeping them on track of not doing this really weird shit. The one specific example I can think
War
of
crimes.
is war crimes. I think it was hobgoblins, goblins, orcs, something. They used entangle in the
Yeah,
common
you were
room, which had
saying
like
this on
30 of them
Tuesday.
in there, right? So the men are combat ready, right? They're of combat age, of combat ability, and melee ensued.
Holding weapons.
Still
Yeah.
within the entanglement of this spell are unarmed, non-combative women and children, and they proceed to kill them all, like
That's kind of like what
because.
Clayton did when she like threw a Molotov
Right,
at
right,
all
right,
of
yeah.
the
Learn to
orcs.
fight, bitches. Yeah, I remember that.
Lit
So,
women and children on fire
but just because you are good or
at
neutral
fighting.
for that matter, no, like good in alignment,
Oh, alignment,
it
alignment.
doesn't mean that you're a goody two shoes. It doesn't mean you're not going to
No,
inflict harm. So I'm
no.
saying that because I'm not really sure what Mark was specifically referring to. I don't remember what happened, um,
Eh,
but um, ju-
he
and,
said it was torture. Like the party was torturing someone for information, but the person they were torturing wasn't a bad guy. They were like
oh,
an
yeah.
NPC or
So
like a
what it may
townsperson
what it may have been was a
or like
truly
the mayor.
a commoner, right? He was a town councilman or something, and they weren't really torturing. I don't remember there being like physical abuse, but they were threatening. They had him hogtied, things like that. But
It's so bad.
I wouldn't put that onto an evil alignment by
Evil.
any means.
No, maybe neutral,
If they
maybe questionable,
if they slid his
morally
if they
gray.
even if they threatened him with his life, I wouldn't say that's evil. If they slit his throat, well, yeah, maybe, yeah. Then we're talking different now, Um,
Morally questionable.
but I'll tell you, but that is where the fun of alignment can come in when you have like conflicting alignments within the party, and if the players are
Yes.
playing to the alignment,
Yes.
and these
Yes.
guys are effing around over here,
To the
and you got the goody two
character.
shoes over here. He's like, hey,
And there's
stop doing.
party
And
turmoil.
worse yet, that guy intervenes. Oh yeah, that's when shit gets
It's
real interesting.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. That my party does that shit all the time, but they do it just for story reasons. They don't do it because of their alignment. I have to do that on Mark's game on Saturday. I am a ranger rogue. So I'm a ranger, but I have like this little rogue tendency, and I have become a loot goblin. And I have hidden things from my party. I have stolen and hidden things in my pocket. I have gone up and touched things that I as Julie know I shouldn't have touched, but me as my character has to go and touch it. I love those instances where you're like, I have to, guys. I have to. I can't. And my player Sophia on Friday is like that, and she reminds us like almost once a week, if not like every other week. Like, hello guys, I am Sophia. I am not Tybalt. Tybalt is a horrible, awful person, and I did it on purpose that way. He's going to make all the wrong decisions, and you guys are all going to hate him. Hate him. I love it. Do it. Me, Sophia, I am a nice human individual, and I am not making
Is
these
she the one
decisions
with the
because I am
headphones?
Sophia. Yeah,
Okay.
she's great. She has a also kind of like a theater background, so she's also kind of a theater kid. So she knows how to like get and roll. It's pretty fun. She's fun to play with. She's a good sport.
So alignment, I think, kind of getting back to alignment, just like any other defined trait of your character, is a tool to
Moral
guide you
compass.
as to how to role play that character. Whether you're talking about
Mm,
their alignment, right, their moral compass, whether you're talking about, you know, their personality, that they're aggressive, they're polite, they're kind, they're respectful, um, they're just a jerk and disrespectful, whatever it is, that defines how you play that character.
yeah.
Um,
Bond's traits and
and the
Bond's
with the
traits and
alignment
flaws.
being, like Julie said, the moral compass. That's a good description or use of the
Yes.
alignment. That unto
Yes.
itself can create unique conflict or moral dilemmas, right?
Yeah.
Because
Ethically questionable
yeah,
situations.
because the girls, okay, on Sunday night, right, we're doing the Keep on the Borderlands, the Caves of Chaos, and the general premise of the campaign is go in the caves and kill everything. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Okay, it's a hack and slash
Yeah.
dungeon crawl. Everything in the caves are evil. Rid the caves of evil. Okay,
But once you're out of the caves, how do you act?
but several caves they've gone into, orcs,
Have not had
goblins, whatever, hobgoblins. The bad guy's like,
families.
what are you doing in our house? This is our home. We're just defending our home. I don't understand why you don't understand why we're shooting at you defending our home. So that's created like a moral conflict for them. Like we're
They're
supposed to
like,
go in
oh
and
no,
kill
wait,
everything, but they're just minding their own business, and we're just
not
coming in.
hurting nobody.
So that's been created a little bit of moral conflict for the
Ah, I
characters,
love it.
you
I
know.
love those.
Um, so, but if they were chaotic evil, let's say, there'd be no moral conflict.
No,
We were
they're just
told you
going
were
and kill
bad,
them.
and you're going to do bad things over there, so we're just going to kill you and take all your loot.
Yeah,
Right? Just that simple. And one could even argue as lawful good, rid the world of evil, right? So that
yeah.
shouldn't be too much of a moral conflict until they just mind their own business and not harming
Being
anyone,
evil.
right? Just because a
Right.
creature is inherently evil, if they're not doing bad things
Oh,
most
they're bad.
immediately, then do they need to be slaughtered? So that's their kind of moral conflict they're having, between rid of evil, but they're minding their own business, and then they got the paladin saying, "Hey, don't slaughter the non-combatant women and children who are unarmed and entangled." Like, what are you doing? So that's those kind of situations are where alignment comes in. Like, how do you play that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Moral compass.
but
Ethical guidelines.
as the yeah, as the DM though, if someone's not playing to their chosen alignment or the alignment that they have essentially defined for them through their play, what do you do? So far, I haven't had to realign anyone.
No, I
Um,
haven't either. I've just done a quick reminder, and
yeah,
usually
kind of like,
they're like,
hey,
"Oh shit,
what's your alignment
sorry."
again? To kind of raise that
Yeah,
question, that kind of get them to think about it. But if they do need to be realigned, what kind of impact is that going to have? Does it, and if it,
sword
especially if it happens a
relevant.
third time, at that
Um,
point they're just loose cannon. Are they
I
even?
would say one time you get one alignment change, and if you can't do that, you gotta go. I'm sorry, I can't play this stupid flip floppy BS.
Yeah, and it might come down to that, but then once again I raise the question: how important is alignment? Like, to define it, to say this
Yeah,
is my alignment, and then in doing so you're somewhat confining that player and how they're playing that character. So I think, you can kind of debate it either side, but for me as the DM, the characters have to have an alignment, something to kind of
think
provide
so.
guidance as to
Guide
how
them.
as to how
Yeah,
that character is going to be, what the other players can expect out of that character, and so that we have a defined behavior, as you said, moral compass. And if you misbehave, there may be some sort of consequences, whatever that
yeah,
might be. Whether that be a realignment, Could it be a loss of a level? Could it be a loss of a special ability like the paladin? If they misbehave, they lose their paladin hood or have to go on some sort
Losing the
of
whole character
pilgrimage or something. Yeah, so a paladin,
to
I know in
the
5e,
evil wilds.
in 5e you have like an Oathbreaker paladin or something. Well, guess what? If you break your oath as a paladin
Yeah,
first edition, you lose your paladin hood and you go back to a basic fighter, and I think even like a first level fighter, or you lose levels or something. It's like it's
no,
a big deal. So if you're
yeah,
playing a first edition paladin, you don't f around with that stuff. You really gotta be the goody two shoes.
yeah.
So
Oathbreaker is a cool class, though. It's like an anti-paladin.
yeah, but see, what's funny
Yeah,
with that, and I'm glad you said it like that because in not an episode, an issue
an issue.
of
Yeah,
Dragon magazine, they had the anti
you showed it
paladin.
to me. The anti-paladin. He's all black.
So
He
I
has like
don't
red
remember it
eyes.
being like a playable class. I remember it being like an NPC type of class, um,
Etymology.
for
Of
like
the
flavor into your
anti-paladin.
game. But yeah, so there
I think
is
he was like maybe a bad guy.
like such a thing, so to speak. But again,
Yeah,
not a playable class like it is in fifth edition, being an Oathbreaker.
yeah.
So
I got those books that
oh
I
yeah
got the
yeah yeah
trap
yeah yeah
dungeon,
yeah okay
and then I got the bad guy tactics one.
okay.
Yeah, and I got my webcam. That's the same day I got my this webcam. But
Yeah, which I will say is much better resolution.
yeah, I'm really clear, and now
Yeah.
you're blurry, whereas
Well,
it was the other way
oh,
around.
because I mean I'm just using the webcam on the laptop. I
Laptop
don't have it. I mean I do
webcam.
have a
Yeah,
standalone webcam, but I don't use that.
it was like $30. It's not
So
bad.
no, it's not. But again, since I don't use a desktop for this. I don't want
No,
to be attaching a webcam every
no.
time. So
This is a dedicated closet for my dedicated computer.
the computer closet.
It is. It's the gaming dungeon, is what we used to call it.
All right. Any other comments, thoughts, considerations on alignment? We obviously it can be a rather in-depth conversation. It can be something
Yeah.
kind of cursory as we've done here, but we just wanted to do something kind of brief, just to toss around a couple thoughts and get people thinking about alignment, what it is, how important it is, how useful is it, and how do you use it as a player, and how do you use it as a DM?
It can also be disruptive to another topic that we were talking about was that how if you abuse that alignment system and you go into the bottom corner, the chaotic evil as a player and not as a monster or an NPC, that's how like problem players happen. That's how you have players who run away in the middle of combat and jump into the river and you never see them again kind of combat.
Okay,
How
but hang on.
people who
Is
intentionally,
that alignment or is that morale?
well, I mean, not maybe not even in the middle of combat, maybe just like walking down the road. There are some like people who play chaotic evil or chaotic neutral or neutral evil. They are bad players. Those are the people who kill your NPCs. Those are the people who derail the story on purpose. Those
Well,
are
but see, and that's what
your
I'm saying. Just because you're chaotic
yeah.
evil doesn't make you a murder hobo. That's just someone
They take it
who just wants to be a murder hobo
player
or doesn't
maturity.
know how to play a chaotic
Right,
evil character.
right.
So that's not because of the alignment. That's because of how it's being played. So as I'm looking at it here on my other screen, in the DMG first edition, chaotic evil, the chaotic evil creature holds that individual freedom and choice is important, and that other individuals and their freedoms are unimportant if they cannot be held by the individuals
Selfish.
through their own strength and merit. Thus, law and order tends to promote not individuals but groups, and groups suppress individuals' volition and success.
It's a
Right?
little communist of you there,
That that that
DMG.
doesn't mean I kill everything.
No, it doesn't.
That's not what
And
that means.
that's the same for 2014. 2014 is the same way too. I don't think 2014 is just I am a murder hobo. Creatures act with arbitrary violence, spurred by their greed, hatred, or bloodlust. Demons and red dragons are typically chaotic evil. So that mine is go stab everything.
I'm sorry. Read that one more time.
Creatures act with arbitrary violence, spurred by their greed, hatred, or bloodlust. Demons and red dragons are typically chaotic evil.
Yeah, that's I see what you're saying. That's a little more kill everything on sight kind of thing, or leaning towards that, compared to what we're reading here
Neutral
in D
evil
and
is
G.
just as bad. Neutral evil is the alignment of those who do whatever they can get away with without compassion or qualms. Neutral evil.
All right. Neutral evil, similar to the neutral good alignment, that of neutral evil holds that neither groups nor individuals have great meaning. This ethos holds that seeking to promote weal, is that what that says? Well, because this is a PDF of a very old book. Let me see. Yeah. This ethos holds that seeking to promote weal for all actually brings
Real.
woe to the truly deserving. Natural forces which are meant to cull out the weak and stupid are artificially suppressed by so called good, and the fittest are wrongfully held back. So, whatever means are expedient can be used by the powerful to gain and maintain their dominance without concern for anything.
So that neutral evil is more of a survival of the fittest, like an apex predator. An
A
apex predator is neutral evil. They're not inherently evil. They're not going out of their way to cause evil. They're killing things because they have to.
Darwinism.
Darwinism, yes, neutral evil is Darwinism.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we got back to viewing this stuff, but
I was talking about toxic players.
oh yeah, about not being able to play, and those who are of like evil alignment, lawful evil specifically, just kill everything. So, and that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I really do not allow evil alignments in my games, because unfortunately,
The toxic players at bay.
people don't know. As you said, lesser experienced players or immature players, as players, not people,
Players of the game,
right?
right?
Players, not people.
Although some can be
Um,
both.
they don't know how to really play that, and I understand, like, there are some alignments that are not
Play it
easy to
well.
play. There's
No.
so
That's actually that one. I bet you someone could pull off. I bet you someone could pull off neutral evil to just play like you're a lion or play like an apex predator,
yeah.
where you could turn on your friends at any point in time just because you have to because you're hungry enough.
Well, I see. I view that as, like, if you're in town and the city guard is giving you a hard time, like really giving you a hard time, and wants to, I don't know, seize you, then you wouldn't hesitate to draw a blade and
Just
stab the man in the throat.
ballistic.
You
Correct.
know,
Yeah,
survival of the fittest
because you
kind of
have
thing.
to.
Yeah.
Right. I have to go. Sorry.
Yep.
It's time to go.
I do what I got to do. And now, of course, that's not to say that same neutral evil character wouldn't do the same for the benefit of their comrades, of their
Right.
fellow party members. You know, and I think.
They become
And I
pack.
think, and again, let's also remember too, just because you're evil, it doesn't mean you can't have family and friends,
Right.
right? Even if I'm
A lion has a
even if I'm
pride.
lawful evil, so it doesn't mean I'm lawful evil or chaotic evil or neutral evil that I'm going to kill all my party members because they piss me off. No,
Because I'm evil. Wah 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 wah
that's
wah.
not what that means. Because otherwise you could never have more. You couldn't have an evil professional adventurer. He'd be by himself all the time if that was the case,
Yeah.
right? So that's not what that means. But too often alignment is misunderstood or misinterpreted, and by no means am I claiming expertise
And
here.
simplified.
Oh yeah, obviously in fifth edition it's super simplified. Let me go back and remind you all of how simplified that
Wait,
is.
you should see the 2024 one.
Oh my god.
It's just a
So
list.
evil characters can be successfully played in any edition of D&D, particularly first edition where it's very kind of defined. Um, but it has to be the right kind of player, the player who knows how to play that alignment, and also with other players who can understand and respect that this character is going to act this way. You know. So I'm not but that's why me as a DM I don't allow evil characters in my parties because it's difficult. more difficult to play and difficult for far too many players to play that character well.
Yeah.
Because too many think
And not break the Fargan game.
too many people think that that equates to murder hobo. That's
Yeah.
not what that is.
No,
That's not
at
what that
all.
is.
Zero.
So, all right, Julie, that's what I have to say on alignment. I like it. I use it. There are times when I question its functionality or its usefulness, and I think for many groups, um, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose.
This is the 2024 that I pulled from 5e tools.
And I think I say that I think because many players don't stick around long enough with the hobby, with the game, to really become like really good players and be able to do that. Not that time
Or
equates
even with
to
a
experience
character
or,
long
or,
enough
or
sometimes.
time equates to quality of a player. Someone can be at the same job for
Hmm.
20 years and still suck at it, you know? So just because you've been
Hmm.
doing it wrong for 20 years doesn't make it right, kind of thing. But generally speaking, the longer you do something, the better you get at it. So if you've been playing D&D for a couple years, well, okay, well that's a couple years experience. So you might do okay playing one of these alignments that are more difficult to play, or a character that's more difficult to play, whether that be alignment or race or class or what have you. But um, yeah, so even then it can be a little challenging for many. So, all right, that's my 2 cents on alignment. Julie, last word on alignment.
Um, I like alignment too. I like it as like what I had said previously, a moral compass, something to guide my morality, something that I can use to fill in the blanks of a character I don't quite understand just yet. And I am by no means a mature player because I still do silly stuff all the time without thinking about it. And by no means am I a veteran player, but I like to think that I do an okay job in trying to what would my character do, not what would Julie do, and my alignment is definitely into that. Okay, well, my character is chaotic good. Okay, well, so how would someone who is this do that? And it helps to question your own decisions to help better your character development, whether that is short term or long term. I guess that's just dependent on module and DM stance, but I like it a lot. I use it. It's fun. I think they're fun. I like all the charts. All the charts are funny. I sent one to Keith that's bread.
I want to steal back last word for just a little bit. I'm gonna close with food for thought. How does alignment, not the alignment change, but how does that alignment affect the players playing the character in a long going, ongoing campaign versus a one shot? And I'm going to end on that. Food for
Yeah.
thought. All right, guys, have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Next time.